It is a Sunday morning in Toa Payoh. Susan, 67, is sitting at her kitchen table doing the same calculation she has done every few months since she retired 2 years ago. She takes her CPF Life payout, $1,780. She adds the interest from her Singapore savings bonds, about $340. She looks at her monthly expenses, $1,960 for food, transport, utilities, MediShield Life premiums, the occasional family dinner. The numbers work. Just. She closes her notebook. She is fine. What she does not know, what the notebook does not tell her, is that she built her retirement plan to last until she was 80 years old. She read that Singapore's average life expectancy was 83, took a conservative approach, and told herself 80 was safe. Susan will live to 87, not because anyone told her so. Because the Singapore Department of Statistics published their complete life tables in June 2026, and the number for a woman who reached 65 is 88.1 years. She reached 65 2 years ago. Her expected remaining lifespan is longer than she calculated. Her money is not. Tonight we talk about the number that keeps financial planners awake at night in Singapore. It is not a market crash. It is not inflation. It is the gap between how long Singaporeans think they will live and how long they actually will. 6 years wider than almost anyone has planned for. Here is the number. The AIA Longevity Study, published on the 23rd of July 2026, 10 days ago, surveyed more than 1,000 Singaporeans aged 25 and above. Direct question: how long do you expect to live? The average answer: 80.2 years. The Singapore Department of Statistics published their complete life tables on the 3rd of June 2026. A 65-year-old Singaporean today is expected to live to 86.6 on average. Women, 88.1. Men, 84.9. The gap, 6.4 years nobody budgeted for. 6.4 years of food, transport, utilities, medicine at full cost after the plan has run dry. For women, who make up 54% of those aged 65 and above and 61% of those aged 80 and above, the gap is 8 years. 8 years of life the plan did not fund. And here is what makes it worse. Planning to 80.2, the average expectation, means accepting a coin flip. Half of all Singaporeans who reach 65 will live past 86.6. The SingStat life tables show 64.3% of women alive at 65 today will still be alive at 85. For men, 47.6%. Living past 85 is no longer the exception. For women in Singapore, it is statistically more likely than not. Susan does not know any of this. Her notebook says she is fine. Here is what Susan's calculation is actually measuring, and what it is missing. Her monthly income covers her monthly expenses by $80. She is right that it works today. What the notebook does not include: inflation eroding her fixed income, and a decade of life she did not budget for. Susan is on the Standard CPF LIFE Plan, $1,780 per month, fixed forever. Singapore's long-term CPI has averaged 2.5% per year. In 10 years, $1,780 will buy what $1,394 buys today. By 77, her income in real terms is 22% weaker than the day it started. She will be spending more on everything: food, utilities, medicine, while her fixed payout quietly falls behind. In 20 years, if she reaches 87, which the data says she likely will, the real purchasing power of her CPF life payout is equivalent to approximately $1,090 in today's money. The notebook that said she was fine was right on the day she wrote it. It becomes less true every year after. In Tampines, Grace is 69. She chose the escalating plan when she turned 65. Her daughter told her she was making a mistake. Lower starting payout, why would you do that? Grace's starting payout was $1,424 per month, $356 less than Susan's standard plan. Her daughter watched that gap and said nothing but thought, "I told you so." Here's where it stands now, 4 years in. Grace's payout has risen to $1,540 per month, still below Susan's $1,780. Her daughter still feels vindicated. At 78, 9 years from now, Grace's payout crosses $1,780 and overtakes Susan's fixed amount permanently. At 85, when both women are statistically more likely to be alive than dead, Grace receives $2,132 per month. Susan still receives $1,780. The gap? $352 more every month for Grace, in the exact years when healthcare costs, domestic help, and every necessity costs the most. Grace is not richer than Susan. She planned for the right decade. Now here is the number that planners lose the most sleep over. The AIA Longevity Study found that Singaporeans expect their health to begin deteriorating at 70.2 years old, while expecting to live to 80.2. A 10-year window of declining health. The actual window is longer. Real lifespan for a 65-year-old extends to 86.6. That means 16 to 18 years of declining health before death, not 10. Longer for women. 1 in 2 Singaporeans aged 65 and above will at some point face severe disability, defined by the Ministry of Health as being unable to perform at least 3 of 6 basic daily activities: washing, toileting, walking, transferring, feeding, dressing. Not a remote risk, a coin flip. When severe disability arrives, the financial picture changes completely. Average monthly long-term care costs in Singapore, $2,952, according to SingLife 2025 data. Nursing home, $2,000 to $3,600 per month before government subsidies, according to the Agency for Integrated Care. CareShield Life, Singapore's mandatory national long-term care scheme, pays $689 per month in 2026 when severe disability is confirmed. $689 against $2,952. The gap, $2,263 every single month that someone must pay from somewhere. For 3 years of care, a reasonable planning horizon, that is $81,468 above what CareShield covers. For 5 years, $135,780. 81% of Singaporeans in the AIA study have not yet begun planning for long-term care. 1 in 2 will need it. In Ang Mo Kio, Karen is 54. She has 11 years before her CPF life begins. She is watching this video because she just attended her mother's 89th birthday in a nursing home in Bishan. Her mother has been there for 3 years. The family covers the gap between CareShield Life and the actual cost, $2,200 per month, split across 3 children. Karen's share, $730 every month for 36 months. She has paid $26,280 so far into her mother's care. She sat across from her mother at the birthday dinner last Saturday. 3 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, cake from 4 leaves, and did not see an elderly stranger. She saw herself. In 35 years. She does not want her children to face this calculation. Karen's mother had full retirement sum CPF Life. She had MediShield Life. She did not have a CareShield Life supplement plan. She did not plan past 80. She is 89 and the plan ran out at 82. Karen went home from the birthday dinner and did 3 things. First, she called her insurer the following Monday and added a CareShield Life supplement plan. Her premium? $212 per year paid from MediSave. The supplement adds $3,000 per month above the base $689 payout if she is severely disabled. bringing total coverage to $3,689 per month. Not perfect, meaningful. Second, she decided on the Escalating CPF Life Plan for when she turns 65. Not standard. Her starting payout will be $356 lower. By 78, it overtakes standard permanently. By 85, it pays $352 more per month than standard, every month, in the years when her mother taught her where the real costs arrive. Third, she set up an annual cash top-up of $8,000 into her retirement account under the RSTU scheme. At 4% compounded over 11 years, each top-up grows to approximately $12,800 by 65. The IRAS tax relief at her income level saves her $960 in tax the year she contributes, effectively paying her to save for her own retirement. 11 years of top-ups, $88,000 invested, approximately $140,000 contributing to her CPF Life base. Every additional dollar in RA at 65 means higher monthly income for the rest of her life. She sat with her mother's nurse and asked, "What does a good life here actually cost, fully covered?" The nurse said, "With subsidies at your mother's income level, the family pays $2,200. Private, without subsidy, $4,000 to $4,500. Karen wrote the number in her phone. She is 54. She has 11 years to make sure that number is covered. She is making different decisions than her mother made at 54. Now the part most people do not calculate. What happens to a couple when one of them dies? Henry is 68. His wife Lily is 65. Both have full retirement sum CPF Life, $1,780 per month each. Combined, $3,560. Their HDB flat in Jurong West is paid off. Monthly expenses, $3,200. They have a $360 monthly surplus. Comfortable. Their plan works. Until you run the scenario nobody wants to run. Henry is 68. His expected remaining life as a 65-year-old male to 84.9. Lily is 65. Her expected remaining life to 88.1. Henry will likely die first and he will likely die earlier. If Henry dies at 82, Lily, then 79, loses his CPF life payout immediately. There is no survivor benefit under CPF Life. The payout stops the month the member dies. Lily's monthly income drops from $3,560 to $1,780. Her expenses do not drop in half. Utilities, conservancy charges, MediShield Life premiums, food, these continue at roughly 70% of the previous level. She is managing approximately $2,200 in expenses on $1,780 in income. She is 79. She has an expected 9 more years of life. She has a statistically better than even chance of needing long-term care at some point in those 9 years. She has a monthly deficit of $420 from the day Henry dies, before any health event. The $360 monthly surplus Henry and Lily built their plan around, it disappeared the day Henry did. Henry and Lily's plan was built for when both of them were healthy and alive. That is not a retirement plan. That is a plan for the easy version of retirement. The hard version needs its own funding. Two numbers define the planning mistake most Singaporeans are making right now. The first, most people use Singapore's headline life expectancy at birth, 83.9 years, as their planning target. This is the wrong number. Life expectancy at birth includes infant mortality, accidents, and early deaths from every cause. If you have already reached 65, those risks are behind you. The correct number is conditional life expectancy at 65, 86.6. The difference? 2.7 years of expected life that most plans discount entirely. The second, Planning to any average means accepting a 50% probability of outliving your money. Professional financial planners do not plan to the average. They plan to 90 or 92. Not because everyone lives that long, but because if you do, you need to be funded. The cost of planning to 90 and dying at 82 is some slightly unnecessary savings. The cost of planning to 80 and living to 88 is running out of money at the age when you are least able to earn more. One more number. Singapore became a super-aged society in 2026. 1 in 5 residents is 65 or above, rising to 1 in 4 by 2030. The citizen fertility rate, 0.87. There are 2.4 working age residents for every person 65 and above, down from above 5 in the 1980s. The traditional safety net, your children will help, is weakening at exactly the moment it is needed most. The Manulife Asia Care Survey 2026. Only 15% of Singaporeans expect to rely on their children for financial support in retirement. Not because the relationship changed, because one child cannot shoulder what 3 children once shared. The government is not standing still. CareShield Life payouts were enhanced in 2026 with an additional $570 million in subsidies, raising payout growth from 2 to 4% annually. This is meaningful. It is not enough. $689 against $2,952 per month. The gap is real, and the gap is yours to close. Susan finished her notebook calculation this morning. The numbers work. She has not thought about what her $1,780 buys her at 77 versus today. She has not thought about what 1 in 2 odds of severe disability means for her savings in her 80s. She has not thought about what happens if she needs a nursing home at 84, and her plan was written for someone who was going to die at 80. She closes the notebook. She's fine. She's 67. She is statistically expected to live another 21 years. The unplanned exposure, 6 years of unbudgeted life at minimum, plus the healthcare tail risk, is a gap between 160,000 and nearly 200,000 Singapore dollars that her notebook does not show. That is the number keeping financial planners awake. That is the number Susan does not know. Yet. Here is what changes that number. For Karen at 54, for Susan at 67, and for Henry and Lily who have not yet run the hard scenario. If you are in your 50s, the most powerful tool is time. $8,000 per year into your RA under RSTU, compounding at 4%, with tax relief returning nearly $1,000 per year. CareShield Life Supplement Plan. Apply while you are healthy, premiums are lower, and coverage is accessible before any health condition changes the picture. CPF Life Plan Decision. Calculate whether your other income covers your 60s and early 70s, because if it does, the Escalating Plan pays substantially more in your 80s when you need it most. If you are already in your 60s, verify your CPF Life Plan joining date. You have 12 months from that date to switch from standard to escalating. One call to CPF board, 1-800 Monday to Friday. If the window is still open, it is worth the calculation. If it is closed, the SRS fills the gap. Up to $15,300 per year into investments, 50% taxable on withdrawal after 63, spread across 10 years. For most Singaporeans in retirement, near zero tax on a meaningful annual sum. The SRS is the bridge between what CPF Life provides and what a full retirement actually costs. If you are a couple, run both scenarios tonight, not someday. What does your household income look like if your partner dies at 80? What does it look like if one of you needs long-term care while the other does not? The plan that works when both of you are healthy is not the same plan that works when one of you is gone. Both need to be funded. Karen's mother turns 89 this month in the nursing home in Bishan. 3 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren. The birthday cake was from Four Leaves, chocolate, her favorite since 1978. She did not plan to be here, she planned to 80. She outlived her plan by 9 years, and her family is covering the gap. Her daughter Karen sat across from her and made a decision. She is not going to outlive her plan. Not because she knows how long she will live, nobody does. Because she now knows the right number to plan to. Not 80.2, what she would have guessed before tonight. Not 83.9, the headline. 86.6. And because she is a woman, 88.1. And because planning to the average means a coin flip, she is planning to 90. That is not pessimism, it is arithmetic. The number keeping financial planners awake in Singapore in 2026 is 6.4. The gap between what Singaporeans expect and what the data shows. The gap between a plan built for one lifespan and a life that runs longer. Susan's notebook says she is fine. 6.4 years from now, it will tell a different story. Unless she recalculates tonight. What age did you plan your retirement savings to last until? Write it in the comments, just a number. I will tell you what the data says about the gap and what you can still do. Next video, why most Singaporeans with an SRS account are using it wrong, and the one withdrawal strategy that cuts their retirement tax bill by $40,000.